Hello, all. Today we will be uncovering religion versus spirituality, a SaaS-infused field guide for the soul where religion and spirituality have been arguing in the backseat of humanity as minivan for centuries, each insisting they know the fastest route to the divine. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just trying to figure out why we're here, what it all means, and whether the universe accepts returns on lessons we did not order. Let's break it down with a little wit, a little wisdom, and just enough sass to keep things interesting. Religion, the HOA of the soul religion, is like a spiritual homeowners association. It gives you rules, structure, and a list of things you're absolutely not allowed to do unless you want a cosmic citation. Dress code, modest please, the angels are watching. Noise ordinance, no ecstatic dancing after 9 p.m. Approved landscaping, only certain prayers, certain rituals, and absolutely no unauthorized spiritual vegetation. Religion says, we've already figured out the divine. Just sign here, initial here, and don't ask too many questions. And honestly, for some people, that's comforting. Structure can be a warm blanket, a spiritual weighted comforter, a cosmic GPS that says, turn left in 300 feet or risk eternal consequences. But religion can also become a bit territorial, like a bouncer at the velvet rope of heaven, checking IDs and making sure you're on the list. Spirituality, the divine DIY movement spirituality, on the other hand, is the cosmic equivalent of, I can fix it myself. It's messy, intuitive, and occasionally involves crystals you forgot to cleanse for 6 months. Spirituality says, talk to God directly, no middle management needed. Your intuition is a hotline, not a suggestion box. The universe is big enough for your weirdness. Bring it. It's the path of seekers, mystics, rebels, and people who have been spiritually side-eyed by at least one religious aunt. Spirituality is less about rules and more about relationship, less about dogma and more about discernment, less about do this or else and more about let's explore what's true. It's divine anarchy with a purpose. Where they clash and why it's hilarious. Religion says, we have the truth. Spirituality says, truth is a living thing, babe. It evolves. Religion says, stay inside the lines. Spirituality says, the lines are imaginary. Religion says, we've always done it this way. Spirituality says, and how's that working out for you? The tension isn't because one is good and the other is bad. It's because they're trying to solve different problems. Religion wants order, spirituality wants freedom. Humans want meaning, and the divine bless its cosmic heart keeps whispering. You can have all three if you stop fighting long enough to listen. Where they actually meet, despite the drama, religion and spirituality share a secret handshake. Both are trying to connect you to something bigger. Both are trying to help you live with purpose. Both are trying to answer the ache in your chest that says, there must be more. Religion gives you a map. Spirituality gives you a compass. The journey is still yours, and the divine is not threatened by your questions, your doubts, your rituals, your rebellion, or your sass. If anything, the divine is delighted you're finally paying attention. The real question, it's not religion or spirituality. It's what brings you closer to truth, love, and alignment with who you actually are. Some people need the cathedral. Some need the forest. Some need both, depending on the day and moon phase. The sacred is not fragile. Your soul is not a problem to be solved. And the divine is not keeping score, it's keeping company. The heart of it all, love at the end of the day. Whether you're lighting candles in a cathedral or charging crystals on your windowsill, the point is, and has always been, love. Not the flimsy Hallmark kind. The real, bone-deep, soul-anchoring kind. The kind that rearranges you from the inside out, because the Most High is love. Not has love, not encourages love, not occasionally dabbles in love. Is love. If your religion isn't rooted in love, it's just paperwork. If your spirituality isn't rooted in love, it's just vibes with no voltage. Love is the number one commandment, the number one metric, the number one spiritual non-negotiable. Everything else is commentary, costume, or cosmic background noise. Genuine love produces an energy that expands everything it touches: clarity, courage, compassion, and the quiet, unmistakable sense that your soul is finally breathing in its natural habitat. Matthew 22:37-39. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And the second is like it: love your neighbor as yourself. This wasn't a suggestion, it was the core of the entire spiritual life. Jesus essentially said, if you don't get love right, nothing else you do matters. 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Need more help? Check out the pros, healers, readers, and spiritualists. Thanks for watching DPC.